Multiple injuries at WWE Survivor Series coming out of the epic WarGames encounter between the OG Bloodline and the new Bloodline. Triple H revealed at the post-show press conference that there were indeed multiple injuries suffered by talent, one of which is going to keep a talent sidelined for the foreseeable future. We're going to talk about who those talent are, what's going on, what the injury prognosis seems to be, and so much more. We're also going to talk about a major AEW contract update that could see one of AEW's top talent go over to WWE very soon. All that and much more coming up right here in this video. So be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. All right, so obviously last night, WWE Survivor Series WarGames, or as William Regal likes to say, WarGames, was emanating from Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada, and we saw an epic encounter, as I said before, with the OG Bloodline, the new Bloodline, and of course, as expected, there were several very dangerous high spots that unfortunately, when you take a risk like that, you were going to have some sort of risk involved. And we saw a couple of injuries that occurred last night. Here is what Triple H said. He revealed actually some of these injuries in the press conference last night. Here's what he had to say about all of that.
I thought tonight was a phenomenal night. For the most part, our talent came away fairly unscathed. We had a few minor things, and Bronson Reed is in the other room getting looked at right now. He's going to be questionable for a few weeks, I think, after that splash off the top of the cage. So, LA Knight, Shinsuke Nakamura, I thought had it on.
That was Triple H. It was also revealed by Jey Uso in the post-show media scrum that Jimmy Uso suffered a broken toe during his spot off of the top of the cage, down doing a splash to a prone Jacob Fatu on a table. And this obviously comes with the territory of WarGames, especially the way WWE does it. Now, the first thing I want to say before I get into this is I do hope that Bronson Reed, Jimmy Uso are both healthy and okay very soon, and that they're able to get back to doing what they do. I think Bronson Reed especially is someone who has established himself in recent months on WWE TV as a legitimate threat, something that he, quite frankly, was never portrayed as to this degree on WWE TV. He actually, I think, in many ways has captured the momentum that he had in New Japan when he was Jonah there and being the big monster that beat Okada during the height of his New Japan Pro Wrestling run. So it's great to see what Bronson Reed's been doing. I really hope they keep up the momentum. And to be honest with you, I also hope that they manage to keep him with the new Bloodline. I think them as a unit, especially Jacob Fatu and Bronson Reed, I see as future WWE Tag Team Champions. I do think that there is a lot of potential there in those two as a group, as a unit. And I think Bronson Reed adds to it. He is, of course, Samoan, so there is obviously that tie-in there with the culture and whatnot. And that's kind of what the group is going for, obviously. But we will see if that does indeed continue. It would make sense, given the injury, that would give them an excuse to maybe have Bronson Reed go off into a different direction since he is injured. But going back to kind of the way that this broke down, this happened, Bronson Reed does a tsunami off of the top of the cage through a table, an insane spot. Jimmy Uso does a splash off of the top of the cage through a table. One of the reasons why these high spots exist specifically in this match is because of the way that WWE has kind of chosen to do WarGames. And this is like less so an indictment on that, but it's just a reality of it. When usually in WarGames, like traditional WarGames, like how WarGames is supposed to be is people are enclosed in the cage. It is more of it has a roof over it, much like a Hell in a Cell does. If you go back and watch WCW and the way they did WarGames, that's traditionally how it always was. Obviously, WWE did a little bit of a twist on it when they brought it back a couple of years ago for NXT. And part of that was, I think, to open it up for these high spots, right? I think part of it was they wanted to make this even more exciting, play around with it. Of course, when AEW does it, they have the enclosed cage, so they don't really do too many high spots unless someone climbs up to the top of the cage and gets thrown off, which seemingly happens every single blood and guts match. But part of the deal is they want to have those spots to be exciting, and it is an unfortunate risk you take when you have that. And it's, again, not an indictment. It is just more so an observation. But regardless, hopefully, again, everyone is able to get back to doing what they do. Does not seem like Jimmy Uso, is going to be out for a prolonged period of time, so that is good. But, again, hopefully they're able to do what they do. And hopefully you guys, yes, you guys at home, are able to do what you do by going to wrestling shows, being fantastic fans as I know you are, and I'm going to help you today become an even more fantastic fan, because if you're planning on going to a wrestling show, if you're planning on going to a PLE, a pay-per-view for AEW, or wherever you're going, concert, comedy show, doesn't matter, SeatGeek has got you covered, and so do I. Here's what it is. Today, I am going to save you, yes, you at home, $20 off your first purchase when you sign up for SeatGeek and use that promo code REALTAKE. Yes, no strings attached. That is it. If you're going to make a purchase anyway, here's what you do. You sign up for SeatGeek. You use the promo code REALTAKE at checkout. And bada bing, bada boom, you saved yourself $20 off your first purchase. That is $20 off your first purchase using the promo code REALTAKE. SeatGeek is my favorite sports ticketing app to use. It rates everything from a 1 to 10 scale, so you know precisely the type of deal that you are getting. It is easy to use, and it's also an app. So what you can do is, whether you're on a phone, desktop, whatever, click the link in the description below. That'll take you over to the app, take you over to the page, take you over to the website. You sign up, and you use the promo code REALTAKE at checkout when you get your ticket, and that's it. You saved yourself $20. That's $20 for you to maybe buy a pint, as they say over the pond, for your buddy. That's $20 for you to spend at fast food restaurants or at Chipotle if you want to be a little bit healthy. Doesn't matter. That's your business, not mine. My business is saving you cash, and that's what I'm going to do with the promo code REALTAKE when you sign up for SeatGeek. $20 off, promo code REALTAKE, SeatGeek. Remember that. All right. Now that I am done shilling and hawking, promo code REALTAKE, let's move on and talk about our next story and talk about the Lucha Bros, because we have another update about specifically Penta. So Penta, his AEW contract, according to Fightful Select, has expired. Here is the report courtesy of FightfulSelect.com. Quote, earlier in the week, Fightful Select reported after months of speculation, Penta's AEW deal was set to be up soon. Based on what we've heard within the company, Penta's contract is now up and he's effectively a free agent. His brother and tag team partner, Rey Fénix, is not. We'd not heard of any creative plans following the issues regarding AEW finding out that Penta had been in contact with WWE. At one point, Death Triangle were considered to win the AEW Trios titles at AEW All In. However, that changed as things between the two sides became strained in the summer. That is, again, FightfulSelect.com with that report. And just to recap a little bit, this saga between the Lucha Bros and AEW have been going on for a while now. Of course, over the summer, there were reports that leaked and that Penta was basically already talking as if he had plans with WWE, and people in WWE kind of expected it. People in AEW kind of expected it. And what ended up happening was a mess, because it turns out that Penta and Rey Fénix, while Penta was kind of talking this up and telling people that, you know, he's basically WWE bound, Penta and Rey Fénix were still under AEW contract. And that kind of strain led to the decision by AEW management. You would think Tony Khan would be involved in the decision, but it was AEW management that ended up deciding that they were going to use injury time to add on to Rey Fénix's deal. So that in many ways kind of hindered any idea or chance that they would have to go to WWE as a unit this year, because they added a couple of months, I believe, at the later part of September or around that timeline. And it would seem that we are not going to see both of them on WWE TV soon. Now, I do think, I want to say it is possible that Penta ends up coming in as a singles act and they add Rey Fenix later. I think Penta is more than capable of carrying himself as a singles act. We've seen that. He has been involved in some of the biggest matches on the biggest stages on not only the indies, but in AEW, obviously, and I think he's more than capable of doing that himself. And it could also create a major moment when Rey Fenix's contract is eventually up, because I do believe that regardless of what happens, him and Penta will be in the same company together wherever they go. I think the likely scenario is that they end up both going to WWE, and you could make a major moment out of Penta being a singles act for as long as possible, build up to a story where he needs a tag team partner, and he reveals that it's Rey Fenix. That would immediately make Rey Fenix feel like a bigger star. That would immediately make it mean more, and that would get people ready when he is indeed on that roster and able to sign with WWE. So, very interesting stuff there. Again, it's been a wild couple of months with this story, but it does look like, at least for Penta, he's a free agent. I would not be surprised if he started taking indie bookings and we start seeing him pop up here and there, and maybe he waits it out, and that's probably what's going to happen. He's going to do some appearances here and there, and then eventually when Rey Fenix's contract is up, he will go over to WWE with his brother, because I don't think AEW is going to end up using Rey Fenix. I think they should. You have a guy under contract as talented as Rey Fenix, least you could do is have him involved in some storylines to wrap up, have him put people over on his way out. But I also understand that, that is something that apparently not in the cards. I don't control the way people do business. Regardless, though, we'll see what happens. Obviously, the big things and a big chance for Penta to make his mark, not only on the indies, but potentially in WWE. Let me know in the comment section, though, what you guys think about this crazy Penta Rey Fenix story. What do you think about the latest development? Do you think AEW let them go way too early? Do you think they should have found a way to work it out? Let me know. Also, let me know what you guys thought about the injuries and the matches at WWE Survivor Series. For those of you who are still watching, you guys can check out my full Survivor Series review somewhere over here. It should be over here. It will be over here. But you guys can watch the full Survivor Series review right over there. It's chock full of every single detail that I could think of in the moment and every single match that happened at Survivor Series. So please go check that out. A lot of fun. I'm sure you guys will enjoy the impressions I did. Anyway, but until next time, be sure to leave a thumbs up too. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. And until next time, keep it real.